Alright, Shalom. It's the brothers from the GMS North Carolina camp back with another video. Before we go any further, we give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth, according to the Bible rule well, and peace and blessings still for like of the nation of Israel today through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. We're going to get into a lesson on examining yourselves, because, it's very important for us to be examining ourselves daily, supposed to be making sure we're doing the right things, just make sure we're in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, and that we're entertaining the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai rather than entertaining the flesh. Go ahead. 2 Corinthians 13:5.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith.
Yeah, so scripture said, examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. And I got some definitions of examine. It says inspect in detail to determine the nature or condition. It says survey, scrutinize, probe, consider, check out, analyze, review. So those are some of the synonyms for examine. Survey. Some brothers, I know some brothers got checklists. Oh, did I do my videos? Did I read this week? Did I communicate with the brothers? Did I so they might have a checklist. They might check things off, consider. Oh, did I do did I do anything to please Yahweh Shema Shai today? That's part of examining yourselves. Real quick, I'm going to the online etymology.
Yeah.
Examine is a verb to put someone to question in regard to knowledge. It says question. Yeah, so you're supposed to be questioning yourself, You're supposed to be considering, if you did enough. I'm going to look up examination. 1 second, brothers. Read it again.
Okay. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith.
Yeah, so you're supposed to be checking out. You're supposed to be, question yourself. Whether you're in the faith, whether you're pleasing the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, whether you're doing what the Lord commanded you to do. Go ahead.
Reads on. Prove your own selves.
So when you look at that word prove, it means correct. So you're supposed to be correcting yourself, You're supposed to be making adjustments, Oh, I haven't done anything productive today. You're supposed to curse yourself out, and get into the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai.
Yep. It reads on. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves.
Yeah, know ye not your own selves. You're supposed to know yourself. How is that you're telling Israel that they shouldn't be doing all this wickedness? Yahweh. Look, so Yahweh Shema Shai is putting us to be judges. So we should be able to judge ourselves. We should be able to know ourselves, and we should be able to know and be able to judge what is evil for us, whether it be certain foods, certain dieting, even though it might be lawful, or certain music you may listen to, certain people you may hang around with, that could throw you off in the spirit, so you're supposed to know what's evil for you. Maybe for some brothers it might be women, so you're supposed to know yourself and then be examining yourselves. Go ahead.
Reads on. How that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates.
Yeah, the Lord is in us, so we gotta be we gotta be feeding the spirit, because what we're gonna have to give account for. Get 2 Corinthians 5, we're gonna have to give account for everything that we've done in our bodies, you know. So we're supposed to be examining ourselves. We're supposed to be walking around and fearing the Lord. Go ahead.
It's like this is 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Mashiach.
Yeah, so we all are gonna have appear before the judgment seat of the Lord, you know. There's gonna be a day where the Lord's gonna pull our card and all our works are gonna be manifested in front of him, you know. And the man that wasn't examining themselves, wasn't doing everything he could do to please the Lord, is gonna be destroyed, you know. But the man that was scrutinizing himself, you know, he was reviewing to make sure he did everything he had to do to his best ability, he is going to be rewarded. Go ahead.
It reads on, that everyone may receive the things done in his body,
Go ahead.
according to that he have done,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be good or bad.
Yeah, so what? Your works are going to come before the Lord. Everything you've done in your body, you know, you examine yourself, you know, you might have, you know, you're making sure you're staying on the right track, you know. Some brothers, they get to, some things are evil from playing video games all day. You know yourself, you're supposed to know yourself, you know. You're supposed to know what's evil for you. You're supposed to know what hinders you from doing lessons, what hinders you from reading, praying, fasting. You know, you're supposed to know what is hindering you, and you're supposed to correct those things, you know. It said whether it be good or evil, and we want to appear before the judgment seat of Yahweh by Shema Shai in the good light. Get Philippians 2 and 12.
Mm-hmm. It's Philippians chapter 2 verse 12.
You know, this isn't going to be a long lesson, you know, brothers. Just, you know, just something to consider, that we should be examining ourselves, you know, throughout our day-to-day lives, because we're supposed to, you know, supposed to be walking in the spirit of Yahweh by Shema Shai. Scripture say, therefore, there is no condemnation to them that walk in the spirit, you know, walk after the spirit and not after the flesh. You know, so we're supposed to be walking after the spirit of Yahweh by Shema Shai, because we want to receive salvation out of this wicked, sinful kingdom called America.
Mm-hmm. It's Philippians chapter 2 verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore, my beloved.
Yeah, so the Lord is talking to the elect, you know, and that's what the brothers, you should be hoping for, to be part of the elect, you know, and the elect are going to be examining themselves. Go ahead.
As ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only,
Go ahead.
but now much more in my absence.
See, when you are around the brothers, you know, you have brothers to correct you, you have brothers to critique you, you know, but now you're supposed to be obeying much more in your absence. And when you're alone is when you're supposed to be examining yourself, you know. When you're on your own, you know, throughout the week, you might be at work, you know, you gotta make sure you're treating the people at your job right. You gotta make sure you're on your P's and Q's, doing what that which is well pleasing unto the Lord. Read from top.
Philippians chapter 2 verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence.
Yes, and the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai is not on the scene. You know, brothers might not be around you, you know. Hey, so you're supposed to be, how do you make sure you're obeying much more in the Lord's absence? By examining yourself, you know. It's that simple, you know. You know, and Scripture said we can never go far enough. Get 2 Peter's 1 and 10. Is that any more than that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
It reads on, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Yeah, so work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, knowing that one day, hey, everything that you've done, you know, in your free time, hey, the Lord's going to bring that to play, you know, whether you were a seasonal Israelite, you know, really, a man who examines himself is eventually going to fall out, you know, is going to, it's the truth of the matter. You gotta be able to examine yourself. You know, the Lord's making us to be a nation of kings and priests, and you should be able to examine yourselves to make sure you're doing the right things. And you got the measuring stick, which is the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
What was that?
2 Peter 1:10. And then get James 1:22.
James 1.
Mm-hmm.
2 Peter.
1:10.
This is 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10. Wherefore, 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10. Wherefore, the rather, brethren,
Go ahead.
give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
Yeah, so we have to give diligence to make our calling and election sure. You know, so we were called into this truth, you know. So we should be giving all diligence to we should be putting our best foot forward to make sure that we're part of the election, you know. Of course, you know, scriptures talk about putting on the elect of the Most High, you know, and the elect are going to be examining themselves, you know. The elect are going to be rebuking themselves, you know, because at the end of the day, our righteousness is as filthy rags, you know. We need the mercy of the Lord. Go ahead.
All right. 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 10.
2 Peter's.
No, 2 Peter's. 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10. Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
Go ahead.
For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall.
Yeah, so if you're examining yourselves, you know, you're constantly reading, you're praying. If you're getting on yourselves to do these things, then you're not going to fall. You know, you're not going to fall out the truth. You know, Lord's willing, Abaratazah. You're not going to fall, into, you know, into sin, you know, committing sin, you know, willful sins. You know, because a man that's not growing, that's not examining themselves, is going to start justifying himself, you know, committing willful sins, you know. He's going to become stagnant, and stagnant waters begin to stink. Go ahead.
Well, this is James chapter 1 verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
But be ye doers of the word,
Yep.
and not hearers only.
And part of us being doers of the word, you know, is keeping the commandments to our best abilities, having faith, fearing the Lord, you know. But how can you do those things when you're not, you know, when you're not checking your checklist, you know, when you're not, you know, critiquing yourself on your downtime, you know, when you're by yourself, you know. Scripture say, leisure time, you know, scriptures talk about using your leisure time, you know, for a time to study, you know. So you're supposed to be, you know, meditating more, you know, find the time out of your day to examine yourself, you know, and make sure you're doing the right things, making sure that you're in the spirit. Read one more time.
Yep, this is James chapter 1 verse 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
Yeah, so if you're not examining yourselves, you know, because that's part of the commandments for us to examine ourselves, you're deceiving your own self, you know. Oh, brothers don't see what I'm doing, I'm good, you know. Or, you know, you're not even examining yourself, so you're what? You're a reprobate. You're void of judgment. You're void of understanding. You don't even realize that you're going off, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Get one more. Get Sirach 43 and 30, and we'll close out on that. Because we should be in the mindset to always want to do more. You know, whether it be do more videos throughout the week, whether it be more reading, whether it be more praying to Yahweh Shema Shai, eating healthier, listening to more music, playing music with instruments in them, you know, to soothe the spirit, you know. Go ahead.
You said 30?
Mm-hmm.
This is Sirach chapter 43 verse 30. When you glorify the Lord, that's right, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Verse 30, when you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as you can.
Yeah, you gotta be. That has to be your mindset. You know, when you're examining yourselves. Look, when we come to glorify the Lord, we're supposed to be exalted Him as much as we can. We're supposed to be, real quick, read it from one more time.
Yep. This is Sirach chapter 43, verse 30. When you glorify the Lord, exalt Him as much as you can.
So we're supposed to be exalting Yahweh Shema Shai as much as we can. You know. So the Lord should always be in our mind, you know. We should always be getting on ourselves about how we can please the Lord more. This is real quick. 1 Corinthians 6:20. For ye are bought with a price, therefore glorify the Most High in your body and in your spirit, which are the Most High's, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we were bought with a price, you know. And we're supposed to be glorifying the Lord in our bodies, you know, right here on this earth today, you know. So we owe it to Yahweh Shema Shai, you know. Hey, we got you know, read it one more time. You know, this is 1 Corinthians 6:20. For ye are bought with a price, therefore glorify the Most High in your bodies. So we're supposed to be glorifying Yahweh Shema Shai in our bodies to the best of our ability. Our life is not our own, you know. We're bought. We are possessions of the Lord, you know. It says, and in your spirit, which are the Most High. So Yahweh Shema Shai, He owns us. We are His servants, you know. So we are supposed to be doing everything we can to glorify Yahweh Shema Shai. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. It reads on. For even yet will He far exceed,
Mm-hmm.
and when you exalt Him, put forth all your strength.
Yeah, so we gotta put forth all our strength, you know. That's why it's important for us to examine ourselves, you know. If you're not examining yourself, you're not gonna realize, you know, I didn't do, you know. Ultimately, we can never do enough, you know. That's why the Lord, once again, should always be on your mind. Go ahead, finish it out.
Mm-hmm. And to finish this out, and when you exalt Him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary,
Mm-hmm.
for you can never go far enough.
Yeah, be not weary, be not faint-hearted, you know. So we're not supposed to be faint-hearted, you know. It says, for we can never go far enough, you know. We're not supposed to be getting tired, you know. Hey, you're supposed to be serving Yahweh Shema Shai to the best of your abilities, you know. Make sure you examine yourself. Make sure you're giving diligence, you know, being a doer of the word, you know. Because it's, you know, we got to be making sure, because we're coming into troubling times, we got to be making sure that we're in good graces with Yahweh Shema Shai, building up a personal relationship with the Lord. But, you got any more precepts?
No,
You know, with that, Lord's willing, your brothers are edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Remember, brothers, to examine yourselves. You know, make a checklist if needs be. You know, we are supposed to be glorifying Yahweh Shema Shai in our bodies, not glorifying our flesh. You know, doing things of the spirit more than the things of the flesh. Scriptures say, walk ye in the spirit, and ye should not fulfill the lust of the flesh. You know, so this is a battle we gotta fight. Remember to examine yourselves. Now I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Chakadash. Double honor to our apostle and elders, a great millstone to teach us the truth, according to the Bible, rule well, and peace and blessings so full like of the nation of Israel. Next time we say, Shalom.
Shalom.